Entrust Associates, and here with another edition of the Small Business Insights with Triangle. Today we're here with Ronda and Jessica of Empower Personal Training, Personalized Fitness. Personalized Fitness. They have two locations, in Durham and in Raleigh. Right now we're in their original Durham location. Well, ladies, thank you for inviting us in, participating in the Small Business Insights of the Triangle series. Why don't you tell us a little bit about Empower and how you get started in the personalized fitness business?
Well, I think that for both of us dates back, how we got started in the business dates back a little bit longer than Empower has been around. But we both were college suite mates at UNC in the early 90s. Our major was sports medicine, and that's when we met, and also discovered that we both had a passion for human kind of physiology and movement, and specifically at that point we were focusing on athletes and injury and orthopedic concerns of an athlete. But we both also had done some work with personal training throughout college, and then when we graduated from both undergraduate and graduate school, continued on doing both some work in the athletic training field, but also some work in the personal training field.
And then how did this passion and education become an entrepreneurial business manager?
Yeah, so basically the chronology of events was I was finishing grad school and needed to find a job, and Jessica was doing some independently contracted personal training, and that relationship was ending, and so we just kind of put our heads together, and we were like, even back when we were in undergrad, we would brainstorm about having some type of sports medicine facility, and at that time, it was probably a means to procrastinate studying, but those little embers actually turned into a real fire when it came time to find a job, and so we just sat down, and we like to say at that time that ignorance is bliss. We wrote a business plan and kind of went through all the steps on our own, and it went really, really fast. We started in January writing a business plan, and by September we were in this phase. We had negotiated a lease, upfit a space, secured funding, and we were off and running. And so it kind of happened really fast, and we knew that we wanted to continue to help people, and we just felt like what we had to offer was unique than the traditional gym model, because at that time there weren't really a lot of boutique studios around, and so we just took our existing client base and brought everyone together under one roof. So.
And that was January to September of 2005, so we're actually getting ready to celebrate our 10-year anniversary of Empower, and that's super exciting. From 2005 through today, we have expanded several times. When we first opened this location, we had a fairly small physical footprint, and as our client base grew, we have expanded. Our first expansion was in 2007, and then the next expansion was in 2013. We took a little time off in between those times to expand our families, and we both have young children. We both have daughters who are only 6 months apart, so that's been a big addition to our lives. And then we, right after doing the second physical expansion here, we also then opened our second location in the Raleigh area.
How many square feet do you have here now?
So this location is about 5,500 square feet, and our Raleigh location is about 6,700 square feet, so it's a little bit bigger.
I was curious, as a father of a rising senior, we're looking at colleges, potentially a career in business.
Yeah.
With your sports medicine, did you have any business? Had you taken any business courses prior, or entrepreneurial courses prior to this endeavor, or?
We really did not. We were not necessarily entrepreneurs who were looking for a business opportunity. We were really passionate about the field of health and wellness, and wanted to help people in a unique way. And so we kind of went into it like we're more of a science background, although Ronda did do a graduate program in sports administration and business management, so she did have a little kind of a head start in that area. But early on in our business, we did recognize that was something that we could probably use some help in, and we hired a business coach in the early years and worked with him really successfully, and we owe a lot to him for the first 3 years of our business. And kind of learned a lot about the systems and growth strategies and things about marketing and a lot of kind of more of the business side of things. Because we were great at offering the service, but we had to also then know how to run the business.
The business side, sure.
Yeah.
So can you look back at an event or a period in time when that you knew, hey, I think this is going to work. I think this is going to be successful. We're paying our bills and maybe even making a living.
I think that we might have gone into it with the idea that we were going to be successful. One of the things is I had a client base already in this area before we opened our doors. And we really do contribute some of our initial success to the fact that we didn't just come into a new area and open our doors. We had a great, strong client base. Both Ron and I had clients to bring into the business when we started. And especially since initially one of our biggest marketing resources was word of mouth, that helped immensely. We can honestly say we were very conservative on the decision making. We started with a small footprint. We kept our overhead costs really low in the beginning, and we already had existing revenue, and so we were profitable day one. Our very first month, we turned a profit. So now, having done that again a second time, we can't say the same thing in the second location. And so one of the lessons that we probably learned, having done this twice now, is that starting small is a really good idea. Even in a second location, I think one of the things that we did in our second location that if I were to do it again, we maybe do it differently, is we probably started or staffed up too much. We started too big in our second location. And so we should have followed more of our initial footsteps. The original plan was starting small.
So in terms of then, what is in terms of growing your customer base, what is your strategies for customer acquisition or client acquisition?
I would say one of the biggest things in this location specifically, more specific I'd say to Durham than Raleigh, is the community that we have built here is extremely important, and we do a lot of, I think, and one of the reasons why I say this is a little bit different in Durham versus Raleigh is Durham is smaller, and so getting out into the community and really participating in community events has helped us immensely with just meeting new people. And I think that because Durham is small, there's this very communal feel.
Out there.
If you're in Durham, like you probably live or work somewhere close to here, so because it is again smaller. But it's also the idea that they really like to support small businesses, and so you kind of get out there and do an event and meet people through that way. And the same is true in Raleigh, but I think that it's a little bit more spread out. People come from all over in the Raleigh market. It may be that they work close, but they live really far away. So that's been one of our challenges in the Raleigh location. All along, two of the other major marketing initiatives that we use are one, word of mouth. We did have 2 different kind of campaigns around word of mouth marketing, but then also internet. People finding us through the internet.
And so if people want to find you, let them know we're on Shannon Road and Martin Luther King Boulevard.
Yeah, so this Durham location is on the corner of Shannon Road and University Drive in Durham, and our Raleigh location is on the corner of Blue Ridge Road and Lakeview Trail, diagonally across from Rex Hospital in the Atrium building. Yeah.
So what would you say, did you get a lot of advice when you were starting out, and or, what would you say was the best advice that you received?
So I think one of the best pieces of advice that we received early on was to talk to a bunch of people. people, to talk to a bunch of people who have started businesses, who have been really successful in business, to talk to people who have not done so well, who've been successful in business, talk to people who have a partner, people who don't have a partner. And initially, that's really what we did. I mean, we talked to anybody that would give us FaceTime. You know, we'd beat down the door and, you know, ask to sit in front of business owners and ask them, what did they learn? What challenges have they faced? What could they teach us? What little nuggets of information we could get from them? And so I'd say that's probably one of that kind of charted our course. And then both of us are just kind of seekers of knowledge. We certainly don't believe that we know everything. And so we've learned a lot through the stages from various business coaches. We've met with you a number of times and learned a lot about business valuation. And now that we have an actual business, you know, just along the way, our path has led us to various professionals, and we've just continued to learn each and every day. And so I'd say that's probably.
So conversely, take that to another step. New entrepreneurs, people thinking about being entrepreneurs, I guess some of that advice, what would you tell to someone who's looking to start a business in the Triangle today?
I'd say have fun. I think that's one of the things when we first started. It was just really exciting. It was really new. You knew, you had this goal out there, and that's what you were working towards. And I think sometimes you can get kind of bogged down in the specifics and the details, but it's really about having fun, especially if you're in a business that you're passionate about, the industry. And I can't say that it ever really feels like work. You know, of course, challenges come up and that sort of thing, but really, at the end of the day, it's kind of fun. They're fun challenges. They're challenges that you get to figure out, and I think that's one of the best parts about being an entrepreneur.
And the other thing, this is a little bit more complicated, but finding a good balance, I think, in between starting small and doing as much of the business as you can yourself, but also being cautious that you're not spending all your time working in your business and not working on your business. And that's something that we learned early on too, because we were the sole ones providing the service initially, but to grow the business, we had to be able to entrust other people and hire really good people to provide the service so that we could then take the reins and grow the business. And there's a fine line there, but I think if you start small and as you experience growth, kind of add on slowly, and know when you can kind of turn certain job responsibilities over to other individuals and trusted employees, and then move on to really focus on growing.
So you need to entrust.
Yeah.
That's a great idea. So for the future, what do you see as our growth strategy? You have 2 locations now.
I think that one of the things that we are really interested in doing is making sure that we're staying on the cutting edge of the fitness industry and kind of looking into growth strategies that don't necessarily require another brick and mortar location. And that, as for good reasons. I mean, a brick and mortar location is very expensive, and I think that especially with technology these days, there's a lot of ways that we can really impact the community. Our vision has always been to empower people and communities to lead stronger, healthier, happier lives. And I think that there are a lot of ways that we can reach people without necessarily having physical locations. And so those are some of the ideas that we're looking to expand upon. I think the other thing that we really recognize is that we've done a great job on the people part of that, the individual person we have had impact on. Now we're looking more at the community level. What can we do to empower communities? And that means more than just the individual that can afford to come into our doors. What can we do to really impact a community and to live a happier, healthier, stronger life? So kind of see where that takes us.
A great plan for the future.
Yeah.
Other plans for the future? Perhaps, is there an exit strategy or maybe an acquisition strategy that you've contemplated?
Yeah, so I think for a long time we weren't quite believing that we had a real asset here, a real business. And then we kind of learned that, yeah, maybe we do, and maybe there is some value in that. And so I think we're both very driven and still very interested in working in the business. But we do start to look at other opportunities that are out there. We're kind of, we've been in this for 10 years in this location, and it's just kind of a natural time of reflection of kind of where you've been and where you're going, and what are the next steps take us. And so in that regard, sometimes we do consider, should we acquire other facilities? We kind of have the business acumen to do that, or should we look to exit this business? And so those conversations do come up, but I don't see it happening in the next few years. So I think that when we think long term, yes, I think that is probably our strategy down the road, but not in the immediate future. So.
Well, it's great to catch up with you ladies and learn more about your business here. Having watched you grow over the years, and looking forward to that invitation for the 10th anniversary party.
Yeah, it's coming up. We haven't solidified a date yet, but it is coming, and we'll be invited.
Yeah. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Jessica and Ronda of Empower Training, Don Emmett, Managing Director of Entrust Associates, signing off for the Small Business Insights of the Triangle.